So the next step now is we want to put in the outer edges. What I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it like a Mercury with a Mercury side, just because it's easier for me to do that. And I'm going to be making use of a variety of different strategies, but the first thing that I see is this is already in. So I just want this to rotate over to here. So I know that when I do the algorithm to spin this around, next to a bandaged side, I'm going to keep these where they're at and just rotate this around. So by doing this, this will rotate into the pink side. R, U, R, U, R, 1, 2, 3, U, and RI, and there it is. So that one was kind of a gimme. That one was kind of easy. So here's this. To roll this in, I'm going to do the Venus strategy. Now, as you recall, the Venus strategy was a way of rotating this edge, outer edge, up here without affecting anything else. And I can only do that if I have a non-bandaged side on the top and I'm surrounded by bandaged sides. By surrounded, I mean the bandage is in front of me and it's also at the side that I'm moving. It doesn't have to actually be the side that I'm not moving. So this is the beige and silver. So I'm just going to move the silver side here and then do the Venus strategy to rotate it up. As I might screw it up as I'm saying it, I'll post it, but on the left side we have L, Fi, Li, F, L. I'm just going to post it. Chewing gum, talking, and doing algorithms and doing it at the same time are not my forte. So anyway, this is in. I'm just going to move it in over there. Okay, here is this one, silver and green. So I'm going to do the same thing, only this time on the right side, what I call the Venus algorithm, in this case, RI, F, R, F, RI, 1, 2, 3, F, and RI, and there it is. Okay, great success. So there it is over there. And we'll just move them where they need to be. So what do we have left? And that's really the main thing you need to know is what I call the Venus strategy, because that's where I kind of used it the most, discovered it. Let's see, the other silver right over here. So this is a situation where we actually have to bring it down. To bring it down, it's easy. This is another strategy of bringing it down. There's the Venus strategy, and then there's the Mercury strategy to bring this down from here to here. And this is going to be very simple. The criteria for that is you have to have a bandaged side in front of you and a bandaged side to the side that you're going to be turning it to. And basically this is, if you want to go from here to the left side, it's going to be Fi, L, F, Li. It's what we're talking about with commutators. If you do something and then you just reverse it. So it's over there. You didn't mess anything up. Then I revert to Venus by coming over here. L, Fi, Li, F, L, 3F, Li. I said it and I didn't mess it up. What do you know about that? So now this is in. Now in so doing, I didn't mess this up either. So making use of all the planets. Okay, so these are in. Last one is the last silver. Probably went right past it, or right over here. So now I've got to move this all the way down to here. So I'm first going to put it at an area where I have bandaged sides just over here. Then I'm just going to wheel it down over here. Doing Mercury strategy, just like that. I'll post that too. Then I just move this back. So I shouldn't have messed anything up. And wheel this in the same way. Venus style. 1, 2, 3, up and in. So we have our first cross. Now this is all simple stuff so far. It's more just to kind of get you in the mood for the more complicated stuff. So the next step now, once I've gotten these in, is I want to get these guys in. I'm still going to use the same Mercury strategy, get these edges, and then I'm going to put the corners in. My goal is to do the Mercury part and then be done with it. Then I don't have to worry about that later. So pink and green. Now this is where more of the strategy comes in, mostly by placing things and where to move things. So pink and green needs to come over here. So what's the best way to do that? when I'm making things turn or I'm making things move, I just have to be aware of what's bandaged and what's not bandaged. So how am I going to move this over to here? Well, I'm going to have to move it through the valley of the non-bandaged because that's the danger zone. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Once I get through there, I can move this down Mercury style and not mess these guys up here. So that's going to be down, 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 down. Okay, once I've done that, I'm going to do it again, which is going to move it up to here. So you recall what that algorithm does is it moves it from here to here, and then second time around it moves it from here to here. Then I'm just going to move this back, and nothing else is blasted out. So all I did is I put this closer to where it is. I didn't exactly plan that too great, because what I did is I put it in upside down. But that's no problem. I just want to put it within the ballpark, within the vicinity. So I can turn it over here, and still apply that and place it down here without messing anything up. So F, I, L, F, L, I. So now that's there, and I can just place this back. So no harm done. But now this is in line. This is lined up over here. So now all I need to do is roll this so that it gets down to here. So how am I going to roll that there? Well, if I do it to the side of a non-bandaged side, with a non-bandaged on the right, I'm going to move these around. Don't want to do that. If I do it at the side of a bandaged side, these inner edges are going to stay the same, but I'm going to rotate these guys around. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it here. This is going to remain fixed. This has to come over here, but it's not going to be able to do that because that's not fixed. So the first step is I'm going to do it just to blast it out of here, so that way I can coordinate things. Because I can't move it down here, because then this remains fixed. So R, U, R, I, U, R, 1, 2, 3, R, I. All right, so now that's out and it's in over here. Now that that's happened, I can turn it over here. This will still remain fixed, but now I can do it until this inner pink meets this outer pink. 1, 2, 3, bang, do it again. 1, 2, 3, bang, and there it is. So then turn it down. All right, so that's really all there is to it. I welcome you to keep doing that. Skip ahead if this makes sense to you. If not, let's do another one. Green and orange. Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere. Could be right in front of me. And I wouldn't even know it. Probably is right in front of me. Yeah, it was right in front of me. So this over here, green and orange, needs to come over here. So what I'm going to do is, this fulfills the criteria of doing the Mercury strategy. Fi, L, F, Li. Won't mess anything up. Put this here. Same thing now. Exactly the same strategy. Do it until this comes over here. Do it first to blast it out of here, to put it closer to here. 2, 3, boom. Now that I've done that, move this over so that this remains fixed, and keep doing it until this outer green meets this inner green. Not yet. 2, 3. Boom. And there it is. Okay, so these are in. Orange and blue, right over here. So same kind of thing. I can just put it here and rotate it. Now I'm going to do it twice. That same algorithm, it'll move it here, then it'll move it here. I want to do that because I've got it upside down. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly put these back in. Okay, now that I have it here, I'm going to move it over once again to move it down to meet the inner orange. Move it back. There it is. Great fun. Okay. Blue and beige. Thought I saw that sitting over here. So there it is, blue and beige. So, how am I going to move this down? Well, same thing. Put it here. Okay, now we have to be a little more complicated here. I put it here, so I'm deconstructing it. Now I'm going to move it over here. Upon doing that, I'm then going to just flip it down here, which will not affect my centers. I just have to make sure that I start putting things back. So boom, 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 boom. There that is. Now if I can remember, I'm going to start putting things back. This actually came back here. 1, 2, that came back over there. But I did put this in line. This is a little different. This I need to keep steady. This I need to keep steady. And this can move into here quite easily. So I can just hold it here and do that algorithm. 1, 2, 3, bang. Do it again. Bang. Good, good, good. Beige and pink right over here. So I think you get the picture. Move this over here, slide it down, and that's actually all I should need to do to place this one. And there it is, as promised. Move it back. Good, good. So now we have all of these edges in place. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the corners in. I'm going to do it a little different than you've seen me do it at this stage. Normally you just saw me roll it in and then fix these. I'm actually going to do it in a more efficient way, believe it or not. I'm going to do it the same way I used to do the last steps of the Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Gosh, have I done so many already? Wow. Anyway, by rolling it in by the same mechanism. So here I see silver, blue, and orange. That just so happens to be, well no, it's not this one, over here. Yeah, okay, over here. So this needs to come down to here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the back over here, just to the back of where it needs to be. And I'm going to start rolling it in the same way that I did at the end of the other tutorials. But knowing that you might not have seen those, here's what I'm going to do. Move it to the back. And then I'm going to move this up like this to move it down. Now I've got this corner, or this edge, up here now. And I'm going to turn it here, and then I'm going to bring it back and take a look at what I've got. If I have it lined up to where I want, I'm ready to move it in, but I actually don't have it lined up. Because I want this silver one to be down here, as that's going to be moved down to here. If this isn't lined up where I want, even though these are the same colors, remember I had to turn this so it's kind of skewed. I'm going to move it back over here. Then you can see I can't just move it down, because if I did, the silver is not going to be right. I'm going to move it back again. This is so that I'm flipping this around. Turn this, bring this edge back, and turn it back in. So this edge is now sort of at the same level. Now this is here. I'm going to want to turn this back yet again. Turn it so that I flipped it around. Move this twice so that this edge will meet this corner. 1, 2. Move it back up. Now I see I want this silver to actually be here, so it's still not right. So I'm going to turn it again. Turn it back, which flips it. Turn it back here. Move this in. Move it back. We'll just continue to follow suit. So turn, 1, 2, turn in. So no, actually, so this is correct. So then I turn it back here. So this is going to want to move down here now. I'm going to do that. I have to move it in conjunction with this edge. So turn it here, turn it up, turn it back here, see how the silvers meet, and turn it down. So now this is in place. Now I could give you an algorithm to this, but to be honest with you, it's very intuitive, more so than you might think. Turn these edges back. And now this is in place. We can even turn it back and you can see how it's in place. So what about this? Well, I want to blast this out, but let me see if there's another silver that I can use. There's this one over here. So this is always already positioned behind somewhere, and this is going to be the pink and beige. Well, this happens to be the pink and beige, so I think you'll be able to visualize it a little bit better. But I'm going to start off, and I'll just identify the moves now for you, but I'm going to start off with a R to bring this back here. It also brought this edge up here. Then I'm going to do a and then I'm going to do an RI to bring this here. Now you can see that these colors don't match. So because of that, I'm now going to move it back with an, then I'm going to do another R, and then UI, and then RI. That's to bring this edge back here. Turn it again with a UI, then do another R to flip this over again. So R, then I'm going to go to U, and then bring it back again here with a RI. Still not quite matching pink to pink. So if I don't, move it back again here with the UI, do another R to turn it around, bring this back with a UI, RI to bring this back here, move it back here with an R. I'm going to move this down again, here, move it twice, bring it up, and now I see the colors match. Once I see the colors match, I'm now going to just roll it in. So I'm going to go to U, then bring it up with an R, UI, so you see it matches here, RI. So now we're back over here. Again, easier to do than to actually describe. But here's another silver just set up, and this is going to be the orange and green. Now notice as I'm doing that, these guys don't get blasted out, which is nice, which is good. Anyway, orange and green, which is probably right over here. So by putting this here, it'll also blast this one out. So move this to the back here, as you can see, and now do my roll. And just try to visualize I'm correlating this edge with this over here. Even though they're different colors, what you want to do is you want to correlate it to where this ends up coming down. Kind of like where it is right now, but it's at the wrong side of this. So bring it back, turn this here to see if this correlates, bring it over here. Now even though these are different colors, this is facing the right way. So I can bring it here, bring it up, here, and down. So now that's where it needs to be. Study this closely if it's not making much sense, but you'll get it. And then we can start moving these back in. So where did I put the, here's the other one. So I'm going to coordinate it here, where the silver is once again on the bottom. This is behind here with a pink and green. So here's the pink and green sides. It's got to go over here, which will take this incorrect one out. So again, showing it slowly, this is brought, I'm going to correlate this with this over here, bring this back, move this edge over here so that I can bring it up to this edge. You can see that the silver one is not where it needs to be, which is over here. So that means I bring it back here. I once again turn it back around, which will flip this around, bring this back to move it out of the way of this edge, bring this edge back up, and move the edge back over here. Now I've got this corner back over here, so I'm just going to move that down, bring this around so that it can meet up with this, bring it here. Now this is actually in the correct position because this silver one is going to be able to face down here. I'm going to turn it here, and as you can see, this wants to be rolled here. This is paired with this edge appropriately. You can't go by the colors in this case. You have to go by the orientation of the corner. Turn here, up, turn, and down. So that's where it needs to be. Okay, so we're getting these in place. Now, in doing this, what actually seemed to happen is, oh, nothing. Okay, I thought I messed up, but no, I just had to turn those around. See, have faith in yourself. Let's see, where's another silver? Right over here. All right, so here's another silver, which will be oriented like this because this is behind over here. And this is the last one, the blue and the beige. This is blue and the beige. So once again, we'll do it. Move it back, pair it with this, turn it, move it in. The silver is not down here where it needs to be, so this comes back here, turn it up, move it out of the way so that the edge can come back, turn it back here, move the corner down, move the edge twice, move this up, now it's where it needs to be, and move it twice back, move this up, here, and down. So basically what we have is we have the first little layer here. All of these are in and all of these are in. So I can let go of this whole area of the puzzle.